Hello and welcome to Sava Talk Spurs. Just thought I'd do a quick update on a Friday. Just wanted to have a conversation about some of the players at Spurs, about some of the ins and outs that could be going on. Just wanted to see what people thought. Not expecting anyone to join. Just thought I'd chatter away. Really. First and foremost, what I wanted to talk about was the forgotten three. And what I mean by that is Lo Celso, Ndombele, and Bryan Gil. Now, from my point of view, I look at the club, I look at the recruitment that we have made in the last, I'm going to go the last 10 years, and I think it's been absolutely dreadful. But what's even worse is that lots of the players that are leaving, or that we need to leave, are going to leave at a loss in terms of finances. Now, I'm not a huge finance person, but the worry for me is that I can't think of anyone who we're going to sell for more money than we paid for them, which leads me to believe what was the point of buying these players, and doesn't that just reflect on how bad our policy has been? Because for years it's been talked about that the policy is actually buy young, upskill them, bring them through and sell them on for more money. And we're just not doing that. And Lane Lee, yeah, absolutely. It's been really, really poor. Look, from my point of view, when I look at what's been going on at this club, let's start. Let me have a little look at about Ndombele, right? Let's have a look at this guy. Spurs spent £65 million. Give or take with incentives and bonuses, etc., then plus his salary as well. Now, for a club that don't really spend big on players, this was a big outlay for us. And I think a lot of us were hoping for a lot more than we got from Ndombele. Now, I know 3 years down the line now, there are still fans that will call him a baller, which is a word that I think anyone who knows me by now knows I can't stand. Not only is he called a baller, I'm told he's a match winner and he's creative and he does this and he does that. Unfortunately, I've never seen any of that from him. I've seen snippets of a footballer that's clearly very talented and would be amazing on a five-a-side pitch. But I've seen a guy that can't run, can't move. His engine's really poor. The little flicks and tricks, they're nice to see, but listen, I think you get to a stage where you get a bit older as a fan, and the flicks and tricks, they're great, right? But unless they actually lead to anything, it doesn't really matter. It's again, I think this sums it up nicely. Hi Alf Martin, Man United fan, love the channel. Well, listen, it's only 4 or 5 days old, so thank you, Alf. Just trying. He's an okay player. His mentality is poor, as I've just said. I mean, for me, I think that Ndombele is skillful. Yeah, he's really skillful. Technically, he's a wonderful footballer. But that's not what it's about, is it? It's about what's the end product? What's the output on a football pitch rather than on a highlights reel? And I think for me, that's the key thing. And I think Lane Lee, I think you summed it up nicely there. This is what our fans do. Someone shows a tiny bit of skill and it's clipped. It's turned into a YouTube clip. It's shown a million times. And then you hear, he's generational and he's going to be world class. And if he played for Barcelona and blah, blah, blah. The problem with that is it doesn't affect games. I can remember, I think he had a really good goal against, I want to say, Sheffield United. I remember that he scored and came on and changed the game, maybe against Wickham. But I can't remember any big game where I thought, wow, this guy is sensational. And it's a real shame, right? It is a shame, and it's nothing personal. He just looks to me like everything that is wrong with footballers now. It's all about money. It's all about status rather than that mentality of wanting to be an elite footballer and to have a history. Yeah, and I think that's the key thing for me. It's about in 10 years' time, when people look back and go, Ndombele, what are we going to say? You know, if we look back and go, Modric, you go, wow, that boy was sensational for Spurs. If you look back at the moment and go, what was Ndombele, you'd say, not really anything there. He didn't really do much. So for me, I mean, let me know. I see there's 11 of you in the chat. I wasn't expecting anyone to join, but fair enough. Would you keep Ndombele? And if not, how much do you think we're going to get for him? Because I can't see which club in world football is going to pay even half of the 60 odd million we paid for him. But you guys let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone will come and pay us 55, 60 million. I just can't see it. Before we carry on with that, let me just see. Yeah, I think Langley, yeah, wrong attitude. Absolutely. Always, when on the pitch, always the wrong attitude. Thank you very much, Coke Silver. Yes, the channel, it will grow, and we'll get loads more people involved, and hopefully we'll get back to where I was, where we're getting 500-600 people per show. I think my peak was at 1,000, and we get the rows in the chat and have the good times and talk Spurs. Let's be fair, that's what we all like doing. Keenan says Spurs need another Eriksen. Eriksen was your linchpin. Keenan, clearly a Man United fan. I cannot agree more. Christian Eriksen, since he's gone, we've had zero creativity. And I don't want to hear that Lo Celso was creative, Bergwijn or Lucas. There's no creativity. There's no one that can put their foot on the ball. There's no one that can, keep the ball ticking over, left foot, right foot, put the balls through the channel. It's all a bit stale and a bit run of the mill. So for me, Eriksen was a huge, huge loss. And that's fine. Move these players on, but replace them, right? So I can completely agree with that assessment. Let's see. Les Adams has said Ndombele is lazy, wrong mentality. And in a game where he can make a difference, he just doesn't put the effort in. Spot on, Les. I think that the key thing for me is in this day and age, what we seem to have is a lot of fans, they want to see a little flick and they go, oh my God, did you see that? What a player. What I look for is, and when I was growing up, everybody in the team would put in effort. So if I go back to the Spurs team, I grew up watching in the sort of mid to late 80s, early 90s, and you had midfielders in there like Steve Perryman. You had midfielders in there like Paul Allen, Samways, Naeem, Paul Stewart. These people, Steve Sedgley, may not have been technically as good as Ndombele, but you knew you were going to get a performance from a pro, a man's performance. They would give their all. They come off, they're muddy, they're dirty, they've tackled, they've defended, they've attacked. I just don't know. I see any of that in Ndombele. Brian, big yourself up, my friend. Hello. Yes, I will get you on. Great talking to you the other day. Martin, I don't understand how Spurs paid so much for Ndombele. Look, at the time, I can't lie. I was over the moon we got him. Again, probably a bit too knee-jerk from me at that time because I'd seen some wonderful performances from him in the Champions League. But look, it is what it is, and we move forward. Keenan reckons we'll get 20 million for him. That's the worry, right? That's the worry. And even then, who's coughing up 20 million for him? Going to have to be like a French club or something, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, this is what sprang me, Lane, to do to have this quick chat. I saw a report yesterday, I think it was someone sent to me saying that we're going to let this player go for 20 and this player go for 10. And I was looking at all the fees we paid for them and thought, wow, what a massive loss. And it serves Daniel Levy right. So no, we're not getting you in. Yeah, absolutely. Brian, again, big up at Langley. Just went to go on What TV and listening to Savo, who says men can't multitask. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Poch tried to get PSG to sign him Ndombele in January. So if he stays at PSG, they might buy him. Possibly, but yeah, that would be Ndombele all over PSG. A game where it's just going to be a luxury for him. And look, if they want to buy him and stump up 30, 40, 50 million, then so be it. Let me move on to the next player, which is Lo Celso. Now, Lo Celso gets a little bit more... I think more people are on the fence with Lo Celso now than Ndombele. So let me come to him in a second. Jamie, we went through that. Now, Sweet FA, massive loss. Yeah, true. Les has said he needs to go and we just need to take the loss. Don't need his negativity within our squad. Yeah, 25 to 30 million. Alf, would you want Tielemans? I think your midfield is perfect. His weakness will be covered up and our current midfield weakness will be covered too. I would take Tielemans all day long, Alf. I think he's 10 times anything that we've got at the moment. I think that he can grab you the odd goal. He works hard, good engine. He can pass. He gets back and tackles. For me, he's an all-round midfielder. And I think now all I hear from the younger generation of fans is, oh, he's an 8, he's a 6, he's a 10. He's a midfielder that can do it all. And maybe that's me being a bit older, but that's what midfielders used to do. The Gerrards of this world, they get on the ball, they track back, they pass, they score. What's happened to that? Let's have a look. For this club to move forward, take the loss on all outgoings where we can just get to. Yeah, I agree. I would. It's just, do we think Daniel Levy will? I can see the only way to get rid of Ndombele is some sort of swap deal. Yeah, Who though? Who would want him? Early afternoon server on your lunch break. Yes, I'm giving myself an hour off of work. It's been a busy one since about 7 this morning. So yes. Let's have a look. Okay, so Les, I think Lo Celso is a good player, but I don't think he fits with a Conte system. Okay, right. Let's talk Lo Celso, people. Now, for me, Les, I can't work out. Lo Celso. For me, first of all, we can't run, which is a huge issue. He's got no engine on him at all. And after that, I just don't know where he fits any system. I don't know. I don't see him as an attacking midfielder. I don't see him as a defensive midfielder. I don't see him as a winger. I'm not really sure. For me, I think I would move him on. I just don't know what he offers a team. But listen, tell me if I'm wrong. Lo Celso is better than Ndombele. Still not good enough, though, and not ready for the Prem. Alf, I would agree with that. If I had to pick one of the two, I'd keep Lo Celso, but I don't rate either of them, if I'm honest. Football, good day to you, sir. Get rid of Ndombele and Lo Celso. Get Basuma and Neves. Oh, now you're talking. Imagine our central midfield was Basuma, Neves, and Bentancur, and an Eriksen or Coutinho. Now you're talking. These two are wonderful footballers for me. I'd take them all day long. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. That's the trouble with these fans these days. They overhype players they've never seen. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, if somebody's got a sexy sounding name or it ends in Inyo or something like that, or Unji, we love them, don't we? I'm only 20 love out. I do agree with your modern fans. Yeah, sorry, Alf. I don't mean all young fans, but there are a lot of young fans that give your age group the bad press that they get. So apologies. I won't read that out, but yes, 3 more years of Ole Gunnar Arteta. I like that. Get the likes up. Yeah. If you haven't already subscribed, can I ask, please be so kind to subscribe to the channel. That would be really, really appreciative on my side. Let's have a look. Okay, Coach Silva. Have we got anyone else talking about Lo Celso? I've been a fan since 78. We have no players like Graham Roberts who gave everything for the shirt. Coach Silva, this is what I'm talking about. So when you look at, you were just a few years earlier than me, but when you look at those eras, even if we weren't winning every week, you never saw these sort of awful displays you see from some of our players now. They were all pro footballers. They were all good. Yeah. You didn't see Emerson Royals. You didn't see Ryan Sessegnons and Harry Winkses and Lo Celsos and Ndombeles and Sanchez. And you didn't see that. Yeah, Coutinho. Talk to me about Coutinho, people. Would you take Coutinho? I would all day long. And I can't understand how any fan says no when Coutinho's name is linked with Tottenham, because some of his passing is outrageous. And I could only imagine him playing through balls to Kane, Son, and Kulusevski. Maybe I'm dreaming. And when our fans say, oh, well, he flopped here and he flopped there, Just think, right? This man played for Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Liverpool, and Inter Milan, but we don't think he's good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. It's quite baffling at times. If I could sign one player in the summer, kind of realistic. Oh God, I mean, there's so many. I want a Basuma, a Tielemans, a Neves. These should be realistic footballers. They all play for teams lower than us. If we cannot go and get one of those from a Leicester, from a Wolves, from a Brighton, then something is very wrong with our scouting system and the money we're offering for players. He would fit a content system better than he does at Villa. I think he'd be perfect. I think it gives you the option as well that you can go to the 3-4-3 or the 3-4-1-2. At the moment, you can't play 3-4-1-2 because you've got no one that can play in that hole behind Kane and Son. Let's move on to the next player in a second. Maybe I'm wrong as I'm a Man United fan. I think your academy is shocking. Alf, I completely agree with you. The other day when we were doing a stream, we were talking about youth players that have come through Tottenham in the last decade. And if you put Harry Kane to one side, it really, really was a who's who of kind of mediocrity. It's difficult because you get fans that, I get it, right? I get it. You get these fans, they're diehard, whatever that means. Like the rest of us don't live and breathe Spurs, but they want Skip to be amazing. They wanted Winks to be amazing, and Mason and Bentaleb and Carroll and O'Hara, Romani and Townsend, and right, I could go on, right? You see what I'm doing here, but who have we really produced other than Harry Kane? Before that, it was Ledley King. Since that, it's been so many poor players coming through. And it's not their fault. They're just not good enough. They should have been at lower level clubs. I mean, what summed it up is, I mean, we've still technically on our books got Cameron Carter-Vickers. Let that sink in. We've got Cameron Carter-Vickers, still a Tottenham Hotspur player. Let's quickly move to, I want to talk about this bloke. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Let's talk about Bryan Gil. Bryan Gil, it's a really difficult one because he's only young still, right? He is young, but is he what we needed? Someone tell me, in the summer, why did we sign Bryan Gil? Can anyone tell me what the purpose of that was? What was the idea? Was it just another young player that we hope can come good, but with no real plan or ethos behind this signing? Technically, you can see he's a very good footballer. Again, is that enough? Is that enough? Taarabt had that. Yeah, Taarabt had that in spades, didn't he? He had that loads. So let's have a look. Les Adams. So Lo Celso looked great at Betis, but a lot of these players who play in Spain can't cut it in the Prem. Look, I feel two ways about this, Les. I mean, I'm a big advocate of foreign football because when I look at the Premiership is only good because of the foreign players here. But yet, whenever we mention a foreign player, we say they can't cut it here. You take the foreign players out of these English teams, they would be awful. So I'm in two minds about that one. There are players that come and they settle in immediately. There are players that come over that aren't right. Is that because it's the Premier League? Is it because the team they're going into? I think there's always context around it. Let's see. Tottenham Tom, hello. Hey, Sam, I just found your channel. I love the content. Where do you see us finishing next year if Conte is properly backed in the summer? First of all, yeah, look, I just try and keep my content real. I don't want to sensationalize anything. I don't do hyperbole. I don't start calling players world-class because they've had a great game. I call players world-class when they've had great seasons, and I don't mean one. World-class players don't have a great season. They are great for years and years and years and years. Where do I see us finishing if Conte stays, if he's properly backed? Look, so many facets to this question. Does Conte stay is the first part if he's properly backed. What does that mean at Tottenham? What does that mean? Because I get fans who will come onto this show and tell me, oh, Daniel Levy does back managers. We just recruit badly. Do we? Does he back managers? Is providing managers with £70 million or whatever we spent in the summer. Is that backing a manager to go and challenge, to go and close the gap? Are we closing the gap? I don't know. I see if he stays, we'll be where we are now, 4th, 5th, 6th. Sorry, I don't see that we'll bring in the players. Lane Lee, agreed. King and Kane, the only two for me that are worth shouting about in the last 20 years. Maybe I've missed someone out. I don't know. You tell me. Guys, who hasn't subscribed yet, please can you do me a favor and subscribe? Lots of people come in and watch and not many subscribe. So if you could, I'd be really appreciative of that. Let's have a look. Do North London club scouts seem a thing of the past? Weirdly, we seem to bring in recommendations of connected players. I mean, I know a few scouts. I used to actually work for a pro team, and I know a few scouts across London and across the south of England, and they always said that Tottenham scouts were never at any of the games. There was never Tottenham scouts anywhere. Now, I don't know if Paratici's come in to change that, but we don't scout well. We're clearly not scouting at the younger age level well, because our youth teams never do anything. And we never bring through good players. So it's an interesting one. Trouble with Basuma is his court case. Absolutely, Coach Silver, it is. I mean, what I try and do is steer away from those sort of conversations. That's not for me. If we're talking purely as a footballer, I would love him in our midfield. I've been thoroughly impressed every time we played him this year with him. He just looks like a midfielder that loves it with a great engine on him. Lane Lee, I can only imagine he was a prospect flair player. So, okay, right. So we're talking about Bryan Gil again. Yes, absolutely. It's a prospect. Fans started wetting their knickers over this one. I used to have this guy in one of my WhatsApp groups called Ayush. Nice lad, but he would constantly tell me this is the best young player in the world. I didn't quite see it, and I don't know where he fits in. But it is, like OB says, a typical Levy signing. Absolutely. Young, didn't cost a lot, and hopefully they'll try and flog him back to the Spanish league for a 10, 15 million profit. What's my opinion on Tanganga? I think he's a good lad, but being managed poorly. He needed a loan. Gil is like Bitcoin, just an investment. Alf, I've got a little banner to talk about Tanganga lately. I don't rate him one bit. I think he's a really clumsy defender. I think his positional sense is woeful. He jumps in at any chance he can. He just dives in, and those footballers aren't for me. I like defenders like Ledley King. You never saw him dive in. Rio Ferdinand. These players were intelligent. Now, that can come with age, but he is so rash. Was he managed poorly? I mean, look, it's probably not helped that he's had a number of different managers, but he isn't for me at all. He's definitely not a Tottenham level player. Yeah, Bryan Gil has Levy written all over it. I call those types of idiots the delusional hopefuls. I like that. So hopeful, they delude and devoid all their logic when thinking about Die Hard. Yeah, I think this is the thing. I mean, what I've noticed, even when we went live the other day, and I get certain fans, they're the same ones. They're not trolls, but they're just young and they're hopeful. And anytime, if I dare to criticize a sub that Antonio Conte made, it's why do you hate Conte? You know, if I dare to say that I don't think Son or Romero are elite world-class footballers, it's, oh my God, why do you hate them? And I think that's the era we're in, right? They're so eager to be a better fan that they just see everything in the world as rosy. Now, that's great. But when you get to a certain level of supporting Spurs after a certain number of years, you realize that's not quite true. Let's have a look. It was foreign players that kickstarted the Prem for me. Well, look, this is the thing for me. I mean, I hear all the time from people that, oh, foreign leagues are no good and no foreign player can hack it. All the best players that have played in this league, foreign. Yeah? You go through Man City and Liverpool's team, there might be one or two English. The rest are all foreign. Chelsea have won everything in the last 2 decades. All foreign. Foreign. Right? So I feel like English fans, again, they're like Spurs fans. English fans are like, oh my God, no one's any good. No one's any good. And England are going to dominate England are dominating European football. Well, let's break that down. I know I'm going off in a tangent. Let's break that down. Of the 6 European finalists across the 3 competitions, there is Liverpool from England. There is Madrid from Spain. There is Frankfurt from Germany. Rangers from Scotland. You've got Feyenoord from the Netherlands. And you've got Roma from Italy. So all of this wonderful depth and strength I hear about in England and how every other league's poor and ours is brilliant. Where are all those teams? Why are we not dominating Europe if we are that good? All these foreign players are so bad and couldn't come here and do it. Just leave that with you. I'm fortunate to remember before the inception of the Prem. Yeah, great times. Real footballers, all pros, all sweated blood and tears to become footballers. And it wasn't just about the fame. It wasn't for 200 grand a week. Daryl Denton, I give up on trying to work out our transfer windows. Yeah, Daryl, it's just so difficult, isn't it? You just kind of know what Levy and Co are going to do. And then at the end of the window, fans go, I can't believe that's what we did. It's like, well, why? Why can't you believe that? Of course that was going to happen. It's Spurs. Let's have a look. Conte gets 100 to 150 million with a couple low-level sales. I'd like to think so. I think the excuse is going to be there's money needed for Romero, right? I think we still need to pay money off for that. Again, it's going to be about who's going to buy our players and do we let them go and just get money in, or are we going to haggle all window? That's the problem with Daniel Levy for me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this bloke. Now, this is an interesting one. Talk to me, people. What do you make of Joe Rodon? Is he staying? Is he going? Do you rate him? Why was he bought? What's he doing at Spurs? Talk to me. You tell me and then I'll tell you. Let's have a look. And guys, let me know. If you don't want me to read out every comment, I won't. I just feel it's important that, as I said, when you're doing a podcast, when you're doing any sort of live streaming, get people involved. You guys make it happen. The number of times I go on to shows, I watch a podcast and they just ignore all the comments all throughout the show. And I think that's really bad. Shouldn't be about that because they're the ones that drive the activity. I'm just going to say that since I've been live, not one person has subscribed to my channel. Can somebody please just show me a bit of love? Thank you. Let's have a look. Okay. I think for me, he had one good game, and that was City, first game of the season. So we're talking about Tanganga. Yeah. And then what we do, Langley, in true Spurs fashion, I remember fans going bananas. And look how good Tanganga, he's generational and can build a defence around him. Yeah. Gil was a way to get rid of Lamella. Our problem is Enoch. Yeah. Coach Silver, you do not have to tell me about the problem being Enoch. And all the fans that will dive in and tell you how great Enoch are don't care about winning. They do not care about winning. You can't back them and say you want to win, because whichever way you break it up, whichever way you try and sell the dream of a stadium and a training ground, we don't win things, and we used to. Alf Martin, agree with Tanganga. Obviously, you watch him more. I mean, to be honest, Alf, we haven't seen that much of him. He's been injured, I think, for about 5 months. I just know that when I did watch him, I just wasn't, it wasn't for me. It's just too rash. You know, intelligent defenders don't dive in. What do you think about Cucurella? I take Cucurella all day long. When you look at Sessegnon and you look at Reguilon, I can't stand either of them. I think they're both very poor, and Cucurella does a great job for Brighton, and I can't see why it wouldn't do a great job for us. Polarization, hate or overrate, no in between, no moderation with emotion. What a poetic, that is poetry in motion. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. This is it. You can't just say you don't rate a player. It must mean you hate them. You can't just say you like a player. It must mean you love them. There's no happy medium. It's like, I always use this as an example. When I talk about Ollie Skip, he's okay. But no. I can't just say he's okay. He's amazing. He's generational. Or, oh, you said he's okay. You're writing him off. You can't win. You can't win. It's only 2 elite English strikers in Premier history. The rest are for sure foreign imports. Yep. I don't even think it's just strikers. When you look at, if you're looking at the best defenders that have played in the Premier League, outside of, there's a handful. Campbell. Ooh, can't believe I said it. Sorry. Adams, Terry, Ferdinand. Then you start looking at Desailly, Yapstam, Vidic, Carvalho, Van Dijk. These sort of, there's so many quality foreign centre-backs that have played here. But, Toure, I'm sure you guys will have to list off loads and loads and loads. But you could do that for every position. But apparently foreign players are no good. Jose in another final, but our fans and Spurs tell me he's finished. Alf, the man's a winner. He can only beat what's in front of him. And he's gone to, I think this is where people don't understand their football, right? He's gone to a Roma team that finished 7th last year. It wasn't a team that should be fighting for the title. He's made some really good signings. And you can see that because now the second half of the season, their form has been sublime. They're now in the final. Next year, I think they'll kick on and get the Champions League spots. But again, it's that reputation that goes with him and people just want to hate him. But he's in another final. And by the way, who's seen Lo Pellegrino, who plays for Roma? I've loved him for a couple of years. I think he is class. 10 million to Norwich. I guess, big boss man, we are talking about Rodon. Rodon would struggle to start for any Prem teams. Can't agree more. For me, he is a very average championship footballer. It's hard to rate as he's not been given any proper run out. It's a shame, really. Look, I disagree with that. The only reason I disagree is you've had Mason, Nuno, Conte, and Jose, and not one of them have started him. It tells a story. It tells me he is not good enough. I would sub, but I already have. Thanks, Alf. Thanks. I mean, it was just like, when you're just thinking, surely there's a few people that haven't subscribed and still no one has in the half an hour I've been watching. But what can you do, eh? Let's have a look. Funny how Arsenal fans think they are so dismissive from Tottenham at this current point. Yeah, I think Spurs and Arsenal are the same club, just in different colours. Make of that what you will. Tanganga, poor discipline. Remember Palace game? Yeah. Again, not using this. No brain for me. 10 million for Aarons. I don't want Aarons. I've seen Aarons long enough now. I just don't think he's good enough. I think that's a good signing for a bottom half Premiership team. I don't think it's where Tottenham should be. Someone else who likes Cucurella. How can any true Tottenham Hotspur fan back Enoch? 95% of the Spurs fan base are morons. Stuart, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, it depends what you're in football for. I was always brought up as a kid saying that winning is winning, right? Nowadays, we're in this mode, we're in this era where it's about taking part and everyone gets a medal and it doesn't really matter if you win. Look what they've done for our balance sheet. All I would say to that, Stuart, is I don't ever see the balance sheet. Even if the balance sheet said we made 500 million profit a year, I don't see any of it. I don't care. I see what's on the pitch, and what's on the pitch doesn't win us anything. Arman, Joe Rodon doesn't seem to feature often for us. Surely it's best just to move him on. I completely agree with you. And yet, for me, that last sentence sums up Enoch. We wanted Skriniar, we got Rodon. I think that is Tottenham down to a T. Stuart Austin, how do we sign so many? Yeah, we do, don't we? We do. When you look at this squad, I would happily let 17, 18 of them go out of this 25-man squad. But our fans will back them to the hilt. They'll back them to the hilt. There's a guy that comes on here called Son over Salah, and every player's great. He was trying to tell me the other day that Royal's a good player. And when you hear that there's something very, very wrong. Lamptey and Cucurella instant upgrade. Absolutely. Our wing backs are awful. Tottenham Tom, but that depends. Sorry, that wasn't to me. Coach Silver, some of our fans, same as Arsenal, get giddy over any link. Our owner used same excuse as Arsenal to build a stadium, knock it down to compete, and all Levy buys is, MFI furniture. Absolutely. We've been hoodwinked, the same as the way the Arsenal ads. The Arsenal fans were. He got the best out of Tammy and Tammy loves him. Look, at the end of the day, everyone wants to knock Jose Mourinho. And the thing is, if I say this, I get called a Jose lover. I'm not. I'm a fan of football, right? It's okay to talk about managers and players that don't play for Spurs. And Jose Mourinho's won. He is a winner. Man United fans hated him. And what have they done since he left? Nothing. Yeah, Pellegrino is a class act. That boy, someone's going to sign him. Yeah, Pellegrino's class. I like Karsdorp as well. And I also like, on the other wing, Zalewski. I think they've got some good players, Roma. I think they've got the nucleus of a good team. And I think they'll get better and better. They seem to, I think, I watch the Italian league quite a lot, and it's coming back. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's coming back. There's 3 or 4 teams now that are just starting to creep up there. Let's have a look. Son over Sully. Yeah, this guy, yeah, he cracks me up. He's just one of those. Nothing's wrong at Spurs. He's one of these fans. He's a better fan than everyone else. Nothing's wrong at Spurs. But yet we don't ever win anything, and we should just be grateful we made a Champions League final 4 years ago. Big boss man, Sava, do you have heritage from another country? Yes, my name, Sava, is from Cyprus. Pete, Beat, and Jam, how are you, my friend? Yeah, everyone in England hates him because the media hates him. Look, it's what we do. We see a winner, we knock them. Yeah. What I loved, what I absolutely loved about, sorry, I thought something was flying around me then. What I absolutely loved about the documentary on Amazon was Jose was telling people, he was telling them, right, you're there, let's get you there. We need your level there, mentality, mindset. Look what he said about Dele, completely true. Look what he said about Maguire and Shaw. Look what he said about Pogba. All of these players he said it about, he's giving them the kick up the arse. But in this namby-pamby world now, we want everyone to be mollycoddled, don't we? Oh, he said something bad about a player. Oh, it's terrible. Come on. What's happened? Hello, Mark Trumpy Cousins. How are you? I'm old enough to remember the 80s and 90s when we won things. 21 years of one trophy is a joke. Absolutely. How can anyone disagree with that fact? Kostic, good player. Very good player. Seen him in the Europa League a few times for Frankfurt this year. And yeah, he looks good. I've seen him twice against West Ham, twice against Barcelona, and he caught my eye in every game. Yeah, not a bad shout. Yeah, I love Jose. He hated when we sacked him. I'm a United fan. Our fans just jumped on the hype. Look, at the end of the day, I get it. Not every manager is going to be for everyone. And some clubs don't like the truth being told. Our club went from having Poch, who did some really good things, but was clearly very much a yes man, to getting in a manager like Jose, who's on day one saying to Dele Alli, you're lazy. You want to play for me? You do this. You do this. But instead, our fans went, oh, look what he's done to Ali. He's ruined Ali. No, he's not. Ali was awful when he turned up. He gave him a chance. He played him. He tried to get... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I watch lots of Italian football. In my opinion, it's better when I think there's some good teams down there. Now, there isn't the money in those leagues. There isn't the money in the Italian league to compete. They're not buying players like Erling Haaland and Mbappe. But there's some good teams. You watch Atalanta, good football team, built off no money. Yeah, you watch Roma. Roma play some good stuff. Yeah, not just those two. There's a few teams in there. Napoli play some nice football. But fans who don't watch it will just tell you without watching it that it's poor. And that, for me, is a sad indictment of where we are now, because Sky Sports just tell us this is the best league. No other league works. Jose is also the one who unlocked Kane's playmaking abilities that also shouldn't be forgotten. Yep, the sacking of Jose before a final is a prime example of Levy's incompetence. What a wonderfully written message that is. Absolutely. That summed up Tottenham Hotspur that day. Sacking Jose before a final and putting Ryan Mason in charge. You can't make it up. Savvy, you said you did work in pro football. What was your job? I was working as a coach in the youth setup. Also did a small bit of scouting at the more junior end of the game. But there wasn't, at that time, this was many years ago, there wasn't that much money in it, and I needed a job. I wanted to move out and all that kind of stuff. But that's why I've still got a lot of contacts within the game. A lot of people are still coaching. They love it. And you get to hear little snippets about clubs and players. It's good. Jose kept it real about Aurier. Yep. Poch unlocked it. Jose honed it. I disagree. I don't think Poch did unlock Kane's playmaking abilities. I didn't see him doing that under Poch, but he didn't need to under Poch because he had Ericsson. So it's kind of chicken and egg, isn't it? Roden always plays well for Wales, never given a chance. Yeah, I think the difference is for me, Coach Silver, and I have this chat with some of the Welsh fans in my WhatsApp groups. I think it's easy when you're playing for a Wales team that sit on the edge of their own box and defend. So you've got him, Davis, and is it Mepham or one other who plays in that back three, and they just head balls away. I think that's fine, and you can look good. When you're playing for a team like Tottenham and you have to come out and bring the ball out, you start to see how good defenders are, because the moment a ball goes in behind Joe Roden, you start to realise, A, he can't run, B, he gets turned very, very easily, and C, he's just not quite good enough. Speaking of West Ham, yeah, it was great to see. I'm so bored of my friends who are West Ham fans. All season, we're massive. You're not massive. You've not won a trophy for nearly 45 years. You're not massive. Get back in your box. This and that. I'm the same. Can't stand the term baller. It's childish. It's ridiculous. And often we talk about ballers just because someone's got a tiny bit of skill. If I was going to use the word baller, I would associate it with Ronaldinho, Zidane, Hoddle, Waddle, Beards. These are ballers, not, oh my God, Ndombele and Lo Celso, what a baller. What do you mean, what a baller? Oh, here we go. Jose's a serial winner, doesn't care about styles and possessions and that stuff. Allegri said, if you want entertainment, go to the circus. I am here to win. Mr. I agree with you. There's ways of playing, and we all want to watch our team with free-flowing football. We all want to play like Man City and the fabulous Barcelona and Holland teams, and that's great, but we can't all play like that. So Jose plays to his strengths. And look, again, if he wins the Europa League, he'll have won every European competition. And did I hear it? Someone please tell me, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I heard earlier on Talk Sport that he's been in 4 major European finals or 5 and won all of them. I think he's won all 4 he's been in, and this is his 5th. But somebody will tell me if he's lost one. I don't think he has. Now that's brilliant. Goat baller lit. Oh, can't stand it. In the mud. Generational. What happened? PB and Jam, Italian fans are wild as well. Yeah, I mean, I've been to a couple of games in Italy. Been to the San Siro. I've been to Rome, and it's mental. Flares everywhere, and their t-shirts off. Beating their chests. It's mental. Alf Martin, I want to become a coach. Do you have any tips that could help me down the line? Yeah, I mean, for me, what I would do if I was you is I would find like maybe a local team, maybe a young team that needs a coach, an under-11s team, under-12s team, something like that. Just get into it that way and start doing 1 session a week, and then try and see if your local pro club, doesn't always have to be a Premier League club. There's loads of pro clubs, semi-pro clubs if they want some help, and just learn. Just learn. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be the best player. You just have to take it in and listen to people with experience. I do as well, but if I say Poch is overrated, this show will go one way. Jose got the best out of Son and Kane. He did. They both had their best seasons under Jose. It's just a shame the rest of the team was awful. He's not overrated, but he is not made for big names like Messi and Neymar. I mean, for me, I think he is overrated. I don't understand how on earth he got a job like PSG. I don't understand why he's banded about with managing some of the biggest teams in the world. I don't know I think he did a good job. That's it. But I also don't think that Rodon will be able to play the overlapping centre-back role as one of our wide centre-backs like Romero or even Davis. No, he wouldn't, because he's very, very rigid. I'm about to check my subscribers. I've lost a subscriber since we last talked. I have lost a subscriber. I can't believe it. Come on, guys. Somebody get me back up to that one subscription. Never mind. Let's have a look. Ndombele. Oh, yeah, it just drives me crazy. Alf Martin, I find it funny Spurs fans laughing at West Ham fans. At least West Ham was in Europe. Yeah, but Alf, I think you've got to understand then the rivalry between the two clubs. And there's this thing down here in London that, West Ham fans are talking about how massive they are. That's their thing now. We're massive. We're a massive club. We're massive. You're not. You just had a good Europa League run. They've never qualified for the Champions League. They don't win anything. It is what it is. Yeah, thought so. 4 finals and 4 wins in European competitions. Alf Mike, regardless, it's called rivalry. We was in Europe too. Yeah. 2 with Porto, 1 with Man United, and I don't know what the 4th one is. The 4th one would be the Champions League with Inter Milan, if I'm not wrong. I think he won the Europa League with Porto, the Champions League with Porto, the Europa League with Man United, and the Champions League with Inter Milan. So 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, and maybe a Conference League coming up. I can't believe it. I can't believe that someone unsubscribed. Thought I was being really fair and answering everyone's questions. Never mind. Let's have a look. Coach Silva, international football is completely different to the Premier League. Yeah, I agree with that. Here he is. Here he is. Yes, welcome, son over Salah. This is how you know this guy is not a proper fan. When he says things like Rodon is quality, you know you have to laugh and laugh because he's not. Let's have a look. Come on, guys. Subscribe and like. Yes, Les Adams. Thank you. Lane Lee. It's funny because they hyped themselves up so much. Hammer fans giving it the big one. Mate, they were giving it massive. That was their word. Massive, massive, massive. West Ham were massive. Yeah, brilliant. I'm a Man United fan. I laugh at City, but I also feel embarrassed that they're in a semi and we're not. Yeah, no, look, I understand, but I think more than anything, look, we're still in a chance to finish top 4, Alf, right? And West Ham fell off a cliff, but they were giving it the big one. They'd finish above us all season. Yeah, they had a good run. They failed. What a shame. And that's exactly how I feel about our Champions League run. I know that sounds harsh, but it is what it is, right? We did well. It's 4 years ago. We move on. But I'm sure in a minute my mate son over Salah will come on and tell me I'm a bad fan because I belittled Poch because he didn't win the Champions League or something. But yeah, it's all good fun. Look, we're just all guys and girls that want to chat football, right? It's not serious. Any particular players you would like Spurs to target for the right wing back role, assuming Conte stays, given the Royal surely has to be shipped off? I mean, I'm at this stage, Arman, where I would take anyone. I would take anyone. I love Karsdorp at Roma. I think he's really good. I'd take Lamptey. I would take Lamptey. There's no one off the top of my head that I think, yes, I desperately want that player in, but I just know there are so many better players than Emerson Royal, i.e. anyone ever that's put on a pair of football boots and laced them up. I love the stream so far. Thank you, Alf. It's been good having you on. It's good to get, I know it's a Tottenham show, but, we talk football, right? It's good to get all different perspectives. It's good to get different fans on. Tony Cottee on that statue singing "We're Massive." Yeah, I mean, good striker, Tony Cottee. Good striker back in the day. Is the West Ham thing a bit like how England use "It's Coming Home"? Yeah, but I think after a while it gets a bit cringe, right? It's coming home. You'll never hear me say that because I can't believe that coming home can mean the last time we won a trophy was in '66. It's a bit cringe for me. It's more a joke than being serious. Yeah, possibly. It's just my West Ham fans have driven me Oh, potty this season. Les Adams, Sava, do we take Ericsson or Fred? We go for someone else. Look, we had this chat the other day on this thread. I'm not saying me and you, but we had this chat. And for me, I'm in the camp of I don't really like going back to players. However, I'm going to caveat that, which is I think it's the most important thing to do if you're broadcasting. Yeah, is to caveat things. Otherwise, people run away with what you say. If Spurs were going to go out and buy a Pellegrino from Roma, yeah, a James Maddison from Leicester, a Coutinho from Barcelona, and spend that money, go and get them first. This is Tottenham we're talking about. We've got so many positions to buy and we don't spend big money. So would I take Ericsson? Yes, he's better than any midfielder we've got at the club, bar none. None of our players can pass a ball and move a ball around a pitch like Ericsson can. So say what you want. I'm not being nostalgic. He's just better than what we've got. A view from the south. Alf Martin, Langley, I agree with a good run, but it ended. Who cares? However, some Spurs fans think a final is an achievement. Alf, that's the problem. A lot of Spurs fans, they don't quite have that mentality of bigger clubs. And then they wonder why we're unsuccessful. You know, we think getting to a final is winning. And unfortunately, it's sad. Perchy, my friend, how are you? I'm hoping that you have subscribed. I still have lost one viewer today. Not one of you has subscribed. This makes me very, very sad indeed. Here's my favorite man, son of a Salah. Max Aarons, young and will go for cheap. Now Norwich are relegated. Again, it's a mediocre signing. That's not the signing of a club that are trying to make a statement, that are trying to say, we're going to back a manager and we're going to try and win things. That for me is he's been relegated twice with Norwich. Let's buy him. Not for me. Not for me. So look, Arman, did you see the Declan Rice incident after the game? I haven't, no. If you would enlighten me. I was watching, I went to a wedding yesterday. I was watching the second half of the West Ham game on the way home on my phone. So I turned it off as soon as the final whistle went. Talking of right wing backs, I would take Stephen Carr, even at his age. Absolutely. Stephen Carr was class. I loved Stephen Carr. He was everything a defender should be. Positionally, he was good. He loved the tackle. He bombed down the wing. He'd have a crack at goal. He'd score a few. I'm a fan. I was a big fan of Stephen Carr, my lord. And the older fans will know what that means. Son of a Salah, Roden is bang average. Yeah. James Hunter, have you seen anything on Jed Spence? Yes, I like Jed Spence as a footballer. What you hear a lot about Jed Spence is attitude, right? So I believe that's why Borough let him go to Forest. Talented, definitely talented. I think he's got that powerful engine to get up and down. He's good in attack. He looks like he loves the tackle. Will the attitude catch up with him? Is there an attitude? Is it media speculation? I don't know. But I'd take him over Max Aarons for sure. Arsenal fans think fourth, the Wenger trophy is an actual physical trophy. Yeah, look, for me, the term top four has ruined football a little bit because now fans see that as success. Growing up, you won or you didn't. And then it was all Champions League. Then that turned into, it's not even a Champions League anymore. The top four get it. How's that Champions League? That's the champions and then lots of other runners up. Good man. You've subbed as well. Thank you very much. Perchy. But I think Conte's comments there are crucial in us being a successful team, and success is winning trophies, not finishing third. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I keep seeing a lot of different messages from Conte. I think what we need to do now is just get to the summer, see what him and Paratici come up with, and get next season started with him at the helm. Because otherwise, we're going to have this talk all summer of does he stay or does he go? Yeah, Alf Martin. That's a little bit of my thinking as well. If Aarons was that good, no one signed him. Why hasn't anyone signed him yet? I've already subbed, mate. Yeah, I know you have, Perchy. Thank you. I was just messing. Would you take James Justin? I think James Justin's a good, solid player. I really do. I think, yeah, he's solid. I'm not saying he sets the world alight, but a player you can count on. And I don't think we've got enough of those in the Tottenham squad. If you look at our 4 wing backs or full backs, whatever they are poor collectively. UEFA Champions League finals seemed like an achievement because you'd think from that point onwards we were going to do some smart signing. Yeah, I get that. PB and Jam. I don't disagree with that. And for that particular season, that was an achievement. But in the grand scheme of things, where it was 4 years ago now, is it an achievement? So we didn't win it. We've gone backwards since it. So has that helped us or hampered us? Has that set unreal expectations amongst fans? Has that given fans more reason to gloat than they should have? Questions, lots of questions. Thoughts on us playing can't smile without you before kickoff. Kills the atmosphere for me. I mean, I don't really care about things like that. I'll be honest. I'm so sorry. I don't care about things like that. If a player is affected, if a fan is affected by a song before the game kicks off, then we've got some real attitude issues here. I'm gonna understand what you mean, but I don't talk 12-year-old lingo. Brennan Johnson is an excellent young footballer, and I would definitely be looking at someone like that in the squad. Now, my words need to not be mixed here. I would definitely want that as a sort of player. I want him in my squad, and I want him coming on to begin with. I want him coming on. And then that's the sort of player you push through. Very good young player, scores a lot of goals. Hate the term baller. It's ridiculous. Grow up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of can't smile before a game. I just don't care. K-Show, big up Sava. Thank you, K-Show. Hello. K-Show, have you subscribed? Who has not subscribed? The thing is, the quicker I get my subscribers up to 1,000, the quicker I can start doing giveaways and stuff. And that's when it starts all getting a bit fun. But yes, someone has subscribed. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Les Adams, even if Conte is back, I don't see us getting all the signings we need. Which positions are most important for the summer? I agree. I never trust these owners. I don't trust our scouts. I don't trust any of it. Whatever happens, we're going to be a million miles behind Man City and Liverpool. Chelsea will strengthen. Actually, let me put them in a bracket to the side because they've got to sort their stuff out. Arsenal, if they get fourth, will strengthen. United will strengthen. Newcastle will strengthen. I think Leicester are talking about a rebuild. I heard that on TalkSport today that Brendan Rodgers is talking about that. So we'll see. Max Aaron's honestly isn't even at the level of Matty Cash from Villa. I agree. I like Matty Cash. I'd take him all day over a Max Aaron's. I'd take Cash too. Alf Martin has said, James Justin, good player who gets moved around a lot because of the team's injuries. Yeah. Versatile. Yeah. Thoughts on the rumour Spurs will get Potter if Conte leaves? If Conte, again, it's the if Conte leaves. If Conte leaves and we end up with Potter, it will just make me think, well, what have we been striving for? What is the club trying to do? We've gone to Jose, one of the most successful managers ever, to Conte, who's meant to be in his prime and world class, to Potter. What do we do? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. It's an achievement because it made history. What, Spurs reaching a Champions League final? Yeah, it was an achievement that season. It was good. We made a final, but son over Salah, it's fans like you that are still going on about it 4 years later that makes it a bit cringy because clubs don't do that. I don't know any other club that talks about a final they got to and lost. Spurs fans do it on a regular. It's embarrassing. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think Cess stays, maybe Doherty. I mean, Perchy, I'll be honest. Sessegnon for me is awful. I wouldn't have him if I was a championship manager. I just don't rate him at all. But I don't mind Doherty as a squad player, but I just don't think he should be our first choice right wing back. We're going to go for 10 more minutes, people. So get in any questions that you want. Matty Cash injured, Doherty. I mean, look, that's the ramblings of someone young, isn't it? Conte will be in next season. I don't see how he goes right now. Look, I can we just say, I've never said he will. I've never said he will. I think this question gets asked a lot. And I always caveat my questions with if he were to leave, not that I think he will leave. We all know it will. We'll see if we get Champions League and what he's given as a war chest. If we get Potter, players will leave. I mean, I can't see that people like Kane and Son are going to see Potter come in and go right. Well, this club has got no ambition at all. Not disrespectfully to Potter, but the fact that we had Jose, the fact that we had Conte and didn't manage to achieve. Conte isn't leaving. He already wants a revolution. Can you explain to me revolution? What does he mean? What does revolution mean? I know what the word means. What does it mean at Spurs? You talk sense about football, but why do you not feel like you can compete with the big boys when bringing in signings? NAS AFC. Who has said that? My question to you, respond before we go into this. I'll let you respond to this. Who has said we can compete with the big boys with signings? I'll leave that with you. Son of a Salah achievement is winning, not being runners-up. Yep, absolutely. Getting to a final is not achievement. However, clubs who have not won it will say so. In my opinion, Spurs fans, even Arsenal fans, have the mentality of small clubs. Absolutely. We do have that mentality because we've got fans like this guy who thinks Emerson Royal is a good player. Yeah, who thinks that Poch is a world-class manager, who thinks that getting to a Champions League final and still talking about it 4 years later makes us good and makes the owners good. I mean, when we're saying it was an achievement, in what way? It was a good cup run. And even then, I thought we were awful in most of the games, but that's just me. We're going to go for another 9 minutes. So one thing I hate in football now is that when a player is 30 years old, they are finished. Yeah, I hate this. I mean, if you watch Real Madrid the other night, what they have, Cruz, Benzema, Nacho, Carvajal, Modric. Look at the age of some of these players. Casemiro, amazing. Son of a Salah, it really isn't finishing second, his first loser. Yep. Nicholas, what do you think of Tottenham fans that Brian Pochettino is the second coming of Brian Clough? I think it's embarrassing. I think Brian Clough was an absolute legend for what he did in football. And the problem you've got is a lot of these younger fans, Nicholas, won't know that. They won't know the job he did. They won't know the adversity he faced. They won't know the achievement that he succeeded with was just out of this world and was a fairy tale. But our fans think that just getting to a final from Poch was a fairy tale. So they don't understand. Why do Arsenal fans think they can compete with the big boys? Well, I mean, Arsenal should be. Arsenal should be. They've got a very rich owner. They've got the stadium. They've had the stadium for a very long time. They should be. And I think I get it. I get why their fans are angry. Why shouldn't they be buying better players? They should be going for a better caliber of player. They should have a better manager. But saying that now will probably get me called an Arsenal fan. I'm just calling it as it is. Let's have a look. Modern football is the reason. Yeah, same thing. Blah, blah, blah. Royal is a world-class player in FIFA. Probably so. So revolution means getting the players he wants for his system and getting rid of the players that don't have the qualities for his system. But that's not a revolution, is it? That's just running a football club properly. Let's see if he can achieve that. Let's see. And it's him, it's Paratici, it's Levy. They've all got to do it, my friend. Sava, do you enjoy any other sports or are you mainly a football man? Massive. I mean, football's my thing. I live and die with football. I like watching the boxing. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert. I like watching the tennis. I like playing a bit of golf, but I don't like watching it. And I'll watch the Formula One if it's on in the background, but mainly Spurs, my friend. Mainly Spurs. The Perchy, you weren't proud of the players for still making history for our club. I mean, what I would say to that, and obviously the Perchy will answer you, but proud of them what? They were bloody awful in the semi and the final. We looked really poor in all three of those games. We scraped through the group. And I think it's the kind of sensationalism of beating Man City which makes this all look very good. The rest of it was very average to me. The other day you were talking about Inter players. Who would they choose? Spurs, apart from Conte being the manager, who isn't going to stay. Yeah, okay. So we're going back to why do I feel we can compete? Look, there are lots of footballers out there. So I don't buy into this, well, there's only 4 players in the world and it will be either Spurs or Chelsea. Good recruitment means going and get good players, not necessarily world class. Going out there, getting the Madisons, the Tielemans, the Karsdorps, the Pellegrinos, the Ruben Neves. These players, good recruitment. Never ever said we can compete in stature of player, but good recruitment. And with a manager like Conte, surely that should work. Let's have a look. Perchy has said, people need to shake this losing mentality and fast. We might sign 3 or 4 30-plus-year-olds in the window because that is the profile we will look at. Perchy, do you know what? I said this ages ago, right? I remember when Leicester City brought in, his name's going to go right out of my head now, Cambiasso. And everyone was going, oh, he's 37, he's old. He went in there and absolutely changed the way that club thinks, the way they play. Davids, when Spurs signed him, the influence he had. Look at Thiago Silva at Chelsea. All these clubs seem to have experience. And when you look through the Spurs team, have we got many over 30 with that experience? Other than Lloris? Have we got any? Davis, maybe? Oh, I'll let you guys talk about that. Thoughts on the Champions League final? Who have I got winning? Real Madrid. Liverpool are a great team, but Madrid just keep doing it. There's something about Madrid and the Champions League. They've knocked out PSG, Chelsea, and Man City. It's, they always look down and out and always find a way. I'm 20, but I know Brian Clough's an elite manager, winning the league with Derby, then back-to-back Champions League with Forest. Yeah, and I think what made it more sensational, and which I'd love people like Son over Salah to go and learn their history, was with Derby when he took over. They were actually in the league below the top league, and he won the league with them, got promoted to the top league, which would now be the Premier League, and then won that league, and then got Champions League 2 years in. I mean, that was phenomenal. And yet our fans like Son over Salah want to talk about Poch. I mean, Clough, that's the benchmark. We are the big boys, 13 times league titles, most of FA Cups in history. Just because our owners and certain fans lower the standards, don't ever think that we are not big boys. History stays forever. I'm guessing you're Arsenal. Look, you're a big club. I don't think anyone said you're not. I don't feel your owners are acting like a big club. You are a big club. I think you're very similar to Spurs, but in the last 10 years, you've had some cup wins. I think that's what sets us apart. Other than that, I feel we're very similar in the way the clubs are run, in the mentality of the fans. But that's just me. This old chestnut, we got robbed, was never a handball. Let me ask you a question, Son over Salah. I'm going to answer them for you. How long is a game of football? 90 minutes plus extra time, right? So we say 95 minutes. What minute did they score the penalty first? We had 94 minutes to find a way to break Liverpool down. And I remember us being awful. So no, I'm sorry. Poch just sat there and watched us look average. What would be summer window in terms of buying play? What would be your summer window? Look, it's difficult to say, Alf, because Spurs need so much. We need 2 wing backs. We need some centre backs. We need some centre mids, more forward players, another goalkeeper. We need so much. We also need to target players who are not only good technically, but also with the right mentality, which we haven't done until recently. Yeah, I can't agree more. Let's have a look. A few more comments before I go. What do you think of Sanchez in France? Yeah, Sanchez is a good midfielder. I think he came over to the Premier League when he was young. What was 18, 19? I think he was too young. But I think he looks like he's developed, he's matured, and I think a bigger club will come in for him. I like him. Again, a midfielder who can get about the park, defend, attack, good engine. I'd take him. Okay, Son over Salah. This is where you're making yourself look very silly. Would Clough have done what Poch did when he took over, taking us to 86 points, Champions League final with no signing in 2 years? First of all, you've got your information wrong. We didn't sign someone for 2 windows. That's not 2 years. Okay, you need to get that fact correct. Second of all, Clough took over. Let's talk about it in today's terms. Clough took over a championship team who were right at the bottom. He won the championship. In his first season up, he won the Premier League. Then he won 2 Champions Leagues back to back with Little Nottingham Forest. Please do not belittle yourself and do not look so foolish to say that. That is ridiculous. And that is why people like you get called a troll, because that is ridiculous. Yeah, but it knocks out the players when something like that happens. It's hard to pick yourself up. Well, I'll tell you this. If it's hard to pick yourself up because you go 1-0 down in the first minute and you can't do anything for 94 minutes and the manager can't then pick them up, then the manager's not great and the players aren't good enough. Fair? Clough won 2 big Euro titles with Forest. What's this? Yeah, Daryl, he's a troll. He doesn't actually seem to know any history. It's just Tottenham are amazing and you're not allowed to say anything else. Savvy on any streams that today? I don't think today. Look, we're doing a myself and Stel from Tottenham Away. We're doing a show tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. during the 3 o'clocks, and we'll lead up to the big game at Liverpool. So yeah, join us tomorrow at 3:15. Yeah, Perchy again. I know. He took them over if they were in the league below, but they were bottom. Won that league, then won the next league, then won 2 Champions Leagues. Embarrassing, mate. It's absolutely embarrassing. Football was different back then. That would never happen now. Oh, please, you're making yourself look really, really silly. You don't know football. You don't know the history. Lots of people will tell you that footballers were better then than they are now. I mean, these people were doing it on these awful pitches. Forest went and conquered Europe. Forest at the time were nothing, and he went and won the Champions League twice. Learn your football history. This isn't about opinions anymore. This is about facts. And like the Perchy said, yeah, I recommend you watch The Damned United. Yes, watch The Damned United. It will tell you everything you need to know. Very true. Mentality and fans are similar. We've been dead last few years and still won a few trophies. But as a football club, we cannot be compared. R11 better. Your manager's better. I don't think your 11 is that much better. I don't see a lot of difference in the 2 clubs. Hence why there's a 2-point gap. If you were that much better, you'd be way ahead of us. I think both clubs are on par. This isn't me starting an Arsenal Spurs debate. I think if you look at the last few years, there's not a lot between the clubs at all. I think both sets of fans are disgruntled. I think both teams are very lightweight in terms of quality footballers. I don't think there's a lot there. You have a hand of players that are better than ours. That's it. Other than that, you can compare player for player. Romero, Kane, Son, Mendes, Kukula. All. Yeah, for me, Langley, it would be if Tottenham and Arsenal had to put an 11 together, I think it would be very 50-50. I don't think that we've got any creative midfielders. I think they've got a lot. I think they've got a couple of defenders much better than ours, but our attack compared to theirs is much better, and Romero gets in. So I think it's very, very split. How come you never hear Clough's name with the likes of Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, Jose, Conte? Right, I'm just going to hazard a little guess here, son of a Salah, because most of the time when you hear those names banded together, it's from younger fans. Second of all, I don't know, but Pep, yeah, he's a manager right now. So is Klopp, so is Tuchel, so is Jose, so is Conte. They're all still managing. If you want to start talking managers that remove people like Tuchel and Conte from that list, yeah, managers that remove them from that list, right? People like Gus Hiddink, yeah? People like Sir Alex Ferguson, people like Don Revie, yeah? People like Sir Bill Nicholson. Come on, please stop with that. You're making yourself look really silly and that you don't know football. You've got Google. Google all these facts. Google it. It's fine if you don't know it, but Google. The Perchy, tell Sava to do a match review together with you and I. Yep. Let's Let's all message me after the show on my YouTube channel. We can all sort something out. Let's see if anyone else has subscribed. Yes, one more. Well, I've got up 2 in this show. That's great. A few more minutes. Rangers might win Europa after going bankrupt. The things you go on about Salah. Yeah, absolutely. He just can't see past Spurs, I'm afraid. If you're from the South Stand, I'm totally up for that, Marlon. Marlon, we'll do it, mate. We'll do it. Marlon, WhatsApp me. We'll sort something out. I'm going to New York next week for work, but WhatsApp me and we'll do it. You've got my number, bro. Also, let me ask you a quick question, and I'm probably going to get slated. What does everyone think of my new logo in the top corner? So what do we think? It makes me look much better looking than I am. But what do we think of it? Is it nice? Is it clean? Is it simple? But this is what happens. Arsenal get top 4 and it's all the best. 3 weeks ago, they wanted Arteta out. Players go, oh, it's flip-flop. Of course it is. This is why I pride myself on staying consistent with what I say. I don't flip-flop because we win a game. Like if we beat Liverpool tomorrow night, I'll get fans telling me we're the best team in the world. I don't change my opinion on that. Let's have a look. Brian Clough better than Tuchel and maybe Pep. Brian Clough was sensational. Let's not have it any other way. Brian Clough was sensational. Based on this season, our keeper's better, our back four's better. Only Spurs player who gets in is Romero. In the mid, Partey, Bentancur, Odegaard, front three, Son, Kane, Saka. I'll give you that. I think your keeper, there's an argument that he's had a better season definitely than Lloris. I agree. I would take your fullbacks over ours any day of the week. The difficulty is, Naz AFC, and look, you can see, hopefully, and please let me know in the comments, right? Let me know in the comments. I'm not a biased Spurs fan at all. So this isn't about, oh my God, you're Arsenal, you're terrible. First of all, we play 2 different formations. So doing a like-for-like 11 is really difficult. But yeah, mate, I don't see a lot of difference between the 2 teams. Sava, don't be a nostalgia merchant. Clough would nowhere be the best in today's game. Son over Salah. It's ridiculous. Clough was sensational. Why would he not do it in today's game? Do you understand the magnitude of what Bryan Clough did in football? I can't. Am I the only one? Sorry, everyone else in the chat, please tell me, am I going mad? Or are we talking about one of the best managers that ever managed in football is getting belittled and I'm told I'm a nostalgia merchant? Wow. Looks, thank you, Perchi. Thank you. View from South. Thank you. Appreciate that. Salah, you think Poch was better than Clough? You need help. Absolutely, mate. That's like me saying Susan Boyle's fitter than Cameron Diaz, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Adam, I apologize wholeheartedly for the sense that I speak. I apologize. I'm going in 2 minutes, by the way. Clough was good, but Bill Nick is on the same. Oh, absolutely, mate. Managers like Bill Nicholson and Brian Clough, the kids of today think because they didn't see them that no one could do what any managers do now. Like, let's get it right. Conte is considered world-class and an elite manager. Now, I'm not saying he is or he isn't. But what's he won? 3 or 4 titles? 5 or 6? 7 or 8? We're talking about people that have won the elite. Brian Clough won the Champions League twice with Nottingham Forest. He won the equivalent of the Premier League with Derby County. Wow. Just wow. It blows my mind how narrow-minded these fans are. Yeah, in football with Forest 2, yeah. Spurs, Arsenal 11 goalkeeper, Lloris right back and left back. Look, I've never been a fan of doing the whole who gets in, who does. For me, it doesn't really matter. All I know is I don't think either Spurs or Arsenal could turn around to each other and go, we're better than you, we're that much better than you. I think there's going to be about a point in it at the end of the season. Yes, that will be the difference between top 4 or not. But I don't think either team can have any bragging rights right now over the other one. Hugo gives us to Arsenal and Chelsea every season. Should have been sold years ago. I agree. I think he's been declining. I've been Arteta out forever now. He makes top 4 next season if he doesn't kick on challenge. I mean, didn't he just get a new contract today? Pretty sure I saw Lee Gunner saying he got a new contract. Thank you. I was pretty happy with that logo. I just wanted something simple. And I'm just trying to get the banner sorted today. So we're doing things. We're doing bits, as they say. We're doing bits. I loved Poch, by the way, but the fact he couldn't get that wonder squad to a Champions League semi-finals. Yeah, okay. James Hunter clearly didn't live the Clough era. No comparison between him and these modern managers. Says it all. Whatever happened to Enoch? Is he son over Salah? This is the thing I don't know. Our Spurs 1980, you get the same people that come around. They've got exactly the same opinion. And there's just a different name with a different footballer's picture. And they don't seem to know. Look, Conte is far better than Clough. Conte, son over Salah. Do me a favour then. Quickly, I've got 2 minutes. Put in the post why. Give me 5 reasons why Conte is better than Clough. Conte's never won a Champions League. Conte's never managed a team as bad as Derby or Nottingham Forest and taken them to titles. In what way? I agree, hard to compare. You're a balanced Spurs fan, but your 11 is horrible. Mate, listen, I agree our 11 is horrible. Our 11 is carried by Son and Kane and now Romero. Bentancur's okay. Kulusevski's good, but in and out. But as always, fans get too carried away by everything. Too many deluded fans. Question, if we finish 5th, Conte goes and it all goes to yeah. Who would you want next? I think if we get to that stage, I don't even care. I just don't know, Adam. Where do we go from there? Realistically, either team will most probably get dumped out of the Champions League at the group stage. I agree, unless they both bolster massively. Right, any last questions before I go? Any last questions? I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Good chat. Look, we can do these all the time. Most of the time I'll have guests, but I don't mind having a little rant on my own. Now, that is a quality player, but hasn't he been injured? Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, too bad, yeah. Yeah, you think Roma have done their whole league year without Spinazzola as well. Oh, God, sorry. Yes, Naz AFC. We agree on that. Let me tell you something, mate. Tomiyasu compared to Emerson Royale it's like Royale makes Tomiyasu look world class. I know he's not, but Royale is that bad. Yes, this is a great watch. Brian Clough meets Don Revie, and this is what I mean. Four people like Son over Salah. This footage is available. Imagine saying, yeah, Conte, I think Alex Ferguson is better than Conte. Alex Ferguson was much better than Conte. Look what he did. Son over Salah. Conte took Chelsea from 10th. He started using his... I mean, mate, he took Chelsea, what, with all their money? Please, 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 please go and do some homework on Brian Clough. I can't even believe we're having this conversation. Brian Clough took Derby County from the bottom of the Championship to winning the Premier League in 2 years. Wow. Learn your football. You are embarrassing yourself. Hi, the Mad Darlow fan. I need to go. It's such a shame you've only just joined. Poch is on the level of Harry. I agree. I don't think he's not achieved anything in football. He's not done anything. Tomiyasu is good as long as he doesn't cross the halfway line. Okay, but what's Royale good at? Absolutely. Alf, look, we all know this. Look, there's only one person in this feed who thinks that Brian Clough isn't better than these managers. It's ridiculous. Right, guys, I must go. I'm going to love you and leave you. Feel free to keep talking to me in the comments section, but I must go. It's been absolutely brilliant. Love you all. Even you, Son over Salah. And we'll be live again tomorrow at 3:15. Me and Stel from Tottenham away. We'll see if we can get Henry Wright on the show. And we might see if we can get THFC Rants. Much love. See you later.